I observed in that interaction was that Larry did a pretty good job at asserting herself/himself, like by making it clear that there was a problem. I think what Corey didn't do was kind of acknowledge that problem. She was kind of staying the course with her idea and wasn't really open to like a two-way conversation about what other alternatives there were. What did you guys think?
Well, what I observed was, I definitely feel Larry made a specific request that he did not want to leave Bangkok, and I do feel that he didn't really take personal ownership of the situation. It seemed like a last-minute thing. It seemed like a situation that should have been brought up, a little bit earlier before this meeting right now. And I thought Melissa did a pretty good job of not getting too overactive or defensive about the situation, because she knew herself that she couldn't really do anything about it. That things are already in motion. Yeah, she can't change.
I also agree with that. I think that Melissa stayed calm throughout the thing, but she didn't really acknowledge that there was a problem. She tried to go around it. And then Larry, I felt like you weren't taking responsibility for yourself. Like you just kept blaming others and so-and-so's fault, so-and-so's fault. But overall, it was pretty good.
I also agree that Melissa did a good job with not overreacting and not reacting to Larry as Larry was reacting to her. And I also agree with Adam with the fact that Larry didn't really do a good job, taking ownership of the problem, and was really showing emotions as opposed to really trying to handle it in a business perspective, as opposed to being emotional about feelings and stuff.
I also feel that Melissa, on her behalf, although I do think she did a pretty good job, however, I do feel that she could have been a little bit more genuine to Larry's concerns, but she probably knew at the same time that there's nothing much she can really do about it, since Larry's already going to be transferred, or now leaving the company.
It was good though, because you did lay out the plan of action, so to say. Like you said, this is what's going to happen, and you could, and then at the end you gave Larry the option, take it or leave it.
It is unfortunate that it had come that way, but
it is unfortunate.
I do feel bad for Larry.
I feel like I wasn't being understood. I felt like I was saying a bunch of stuff and then it just kept coming back to the same issue. What I was saying was kind of just being thrown out.
I think because you saw a problem and then Melissa didn't really see that same problem.
Yeah.
Melissa thought of it as an opportunity for you, and you saw it as a problem. So it's kind of difficult.
Pretty much. I don't think Larry had too many options because he was going whether he liked it or not, because he was causing so many problems in this office. We definitely weren't going to keep him here. So that's why I didn't feel it was necessary to address his problems with just the fact that I was a manager and he wasn't, because it seemed to be that was his main issue.
Maybe it was kind of like a communication issue too, because if there was really much of a problem in the office with Larry, then I feel like it should have been addressed beforehand, so that he could work on that personality issue before it got escalated to the point of where he has to leave the office. Yeah. Even though I did quit out of my own merit. It says submit resignation if situation doesn't improve, so therefore I carried out my plan.
Well, on mine it said Larry was spreading rumors about me, and I didn't really feel the need to go in depth into that. I just felt like it would be just best.
Focus on one issue at a time.
I did.
Good job.
A+.
Team A+, yeah.
Do you guys feel that this was a two-way conversation or more of two people talking at each other?
Yeah, it's more of talking at each other. Both of them had ideas.
They came in here with what they knew they were going to do beforehand.
Their own objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they weren't really listening to each other.
Unfortunately, that's the downfall of doing the role play twice.
Exactly.
Which is my fault.
The first time was very different. First time was extremely different. And
first time Larry got fired.
yeah, but you got fired at the end. The conversation carried through a lot smoothly.
Yeah.
First time on our side, Larry decided he thought it was a great idea and he left the area. We were fine.
Larry got along.
Very subtle.
We're best friends.
Larry understood what his issues were.
That's good.
Alright, guys.
I'm like,